Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get through some news items. One of the key ones that I'm going to point out here is the Trump-Putin to meet in Hungary. And when the Tomahawk discussion came up in the last week or so, Putin wants to talk to Trump. Now, I think that is going to be the negotiation point more than it is anything. But we'll get a few other news items here. Canada, China discuss disputes over canola. EVs, says Ottawa. And the highlighted area that I have here is just the Canadian Prime Minister Carney said on Thursday he expected to meet senior Chinese leaders soon, but sidesteps the question about dropping tariffs on EVs. Now, dropping the tariffs would actually be very controversial, I think, especially as the U.S. has put on the same EV tariff, and a lot of Europe has as well. Taking them off will be just pissing off Trump, and I don't think anybody wants to do that when they haven't won anything as of yet, especially Carney on his knees, Carney there. China imports no soybeans. That's not a surprise. They're just suggesting that some trade negotiations are happening, and part of that is that there's going to be some sort of deal at some point getting reached here, but it's hard to say that. There's been no soybeans been bought at all, and I don't know who's got the leverage. I think China might have a little bit of that leverage there, even though their 100% tariffs might be coming on here soon. The other thing that's actually helping China is that they beat the GDP expectations that was expected to be a lot lower than where it is. The data in the session showed China's economy grew 1.1% in the third quarter, and that's when the tariffs were coming on. While industrial output also beat with the rise of 6.5%, helping to allay fears around the world about Beijing and Washington haggle over trade. It says sign of weakening U.S. labor market has kept the traders anticipating more rate cuts from the U.S. Federal Reserve. Figures on Friday are expected to show core U.S. price growth held at 3.1% in September, but we'll have to wait until Friday to get those results. Trump says he'll meet Putin in Hungary for Ukraine after a very productive phone call. Very productive phone call. Thank you, Trump, for having a productive phone call. Budapest venue it has some issues, but I think it's mainly the main reason right there is what you see on the bottom bullet there, that it's because the Tomahawks were asked for, and I think that could be the leverage point that's going to be continue to push maybe Putin to maybe lean into maybe actually doing something, but it's been highly suggested that there's going to have to give up some land, and I would say a lot of the land that has been gained over there, Ukraine hadn't had full control over it for quite some time, and that's what's stated in that article there too. Weather, you can see that there's monthly precipitation outlook. It looks like there's going to be some above weather right along the Canada-U.S. border in the prairies. So if that reflects anything, what's going to happen for November, we'll see if that's going to happen at all. Just a quick look at some of the precipitation, and there is a fair bit of precipitation that's going to end up happening in the next couple of weeks in Manitoba. Here's the snow outlook. And it looks like it's still isolated more to the north. And your temperature, we're looking for the deeper colors in here. And we don't get a whole lot out of cold, but it does get quite cold. And the other thing that's to be noted is quite a bit of wind is going to be in the next couple of weeks here as well. So let's just quick look at the market here. Canola is basically trading at $1.90 up or $2 up. Rapeseed is up 2 3/4 at $4.65, and palm oil is slightly up, and soybean oil is slightly down. Crude oil is down to $57, and your soybeans are up 9.5 at $10.29. Soybean meal is up as well, and your wheats are all green as well. Corn is only up a penny. So just a quick look at the market here. So November futures, we're just about through it, but I'll maybe keep showing both of them. But you're trying to break out of this channel, but basically just trading sideways for quite some time here. Now, what will end up happening when there's the exit from this contract? We'll have to play that one out. Here's January, same thing, showing the same kind of trend, just kind of trading sideways. European rapeseed maybe has a little bit more downward tilt to it in the last week. And the price of the Canadian or the rapeseed priced in Canadian dollars minus canola, it's showing only $129 differential right now. So the European canola is actually kind of peaked out at close to the 158 somewhere in there, and has pulled back from there, like in the neighborhood of $28 to $25. Soybean oil still tracking sideways for the last couple of weeks, and respecting the 200-day moving average on the upside. But your 100-day seems to be putting a lid on the upside, so it's kind of getting pushed into a narrow trading range of a wedge here, and need it to break out of there. Soybean futures trading right at the 200-day moving average now, green for the last few trading sessions. Same thing with the meal, but trading at the 100-day moving average. The 200 is way up here, but pretty lengthy candles, nice green candles, basically showing some signs of life here. The crude palm oil futures been trading sideways for almost 2 months here now. And here's your crude oil, been dropping basically since the beginning of October. Crude or the Canadian futures, same actually thing on the Canadian dollar, even though we're up a little wee bit here, but I would still say that it's definitely got the momentum to be going down. And the other thing that I'm going to maybe just point out is the bonds. T-bonds are actually a bit of a rise here for the last few sessions there as well. Here's the dog that needs to go to the back of the barn and maybe get shot, and it's red spring wheat or all wheats, but it just keeps on leaking lower. Chicago is actually showing some signs of potential breakout here on a pivot. Kansas is not showing that same signs, but it's trading somewhat sideways. And same with the French milling wheat. It's been trading more sideways since September. And here's another pivot. It looks like there's a green possible breakout here on the pivot point right where the market is currently trading. Live cattle, just like I had suggested on Friday, with Trump leaning in, he's going to get the beef prices in the stores down, and that took the live cattle and the feeder cattle to create a gap. Now, will that be the rationale for the market to actually continue to trade lower? I'm not certain. And that's all I have for you today.